Hello everyone and welcome to Metro Matters. I'm Mary Sitt. With the economy in doldrums, many of you may be wondering how to trim your household budget. Well, consider sharing a ride to work. It's kinder on the environment to take one more car off the road, and it's kinder on your pocketbook too. Here to tell us more about Metro's new Star Vanpool regional program is David McMaster, Director of Customer Service. David, thanks for being with us.
Well, thank you, Mary.
David, tell us about this program. Is it really the same program we've had before with just a new brand, or is it a complete do-over?
It is a new brand, and the reason we chose to rebrand the Vanpool program is we were consolidating and reorganizing Vanpool for the whole region.
So right now, how many Vanpools do we have out there, and how many people are Vanpooling?
We have a total of about 750 Vanpools that are currently active, and they represent about 8,000 riders in the most recent month. We operate within the 8-county area in and around Houston, which is known as the Transportation Management Area for the Houston-Galveston region.
Now, how is this new STAR program different from the former program Metro had?
One of the most important things that's different about it is that we consolidated these different Vanpool programs and that we've given it a new identity, the STAR brand, so that consumers can recognize what the Vanpool program is for this region rather than there being a variety of names out there. Okay,
so if somebody wants to participate, how does he or she get involved?
One of the simplest is just to pick up the phone and call us at 713-224-RIDE and talk to one of our customer service representatives, and they'll find out all of the information they need to know about your commute, where you're coming from, where you're going to, what your schedule is. And they will look in our database to see whether or not we have an existing route with a seat available that you could take. And if there's not an available seat for you somewhere, then they will work with you to find other people that we can form a new route that would meet your commute needs.
Now, where do these people meet? It's not door-to-door service. You have to meet at a central location at a parking ride, or where?
Most of the Vanpools do meet at one or sometimes more than one location where their passengers board, park and ride lots, park and pool lots. A lot of times the Vanpool groups will have an arrangement with a church or a school or a retailer who will provide space for their Vanpool to meet in their parking lot.
What are some of the issues that people say when they don't want to participate? I mean, I would think they'd be worried, what if I have an emergency and I have to go home?
We have a solution for that. We call it the Guaranteed Ride Home program. And if you ride in a Vanpool and you have an emergency during the day, such as the school calls and your child is sick, or you get sick and you need to go, or God forbid there's a death in the family, you can call us and we'll arrange for you to get back to where you met the van to get your car. Or if it's a dire emergency, we'll arrange for you to get to the hospital to meet the person that you need to check in with.
And we just provide taxi service for that usually?
Generally it's done with a taxi service. For some of our longer trips we will make available a rental car option, but taxis are the predominant source of the Guaranteed Ride Home.
David, probably more common to people who work in the offices and corporations is, I have to work late. I didn't realize I had to work late. I'm going to miss my Vanpool.
In the Vanpool program, we do have an unscheduled overtime guaranteed ride home. If you find out after you're already at work today and you've ridden in on the Vanpool that your boss needs you to stay late, you give us a call and we pre-arrange for that same taxi ride to get you home later in the evening so that you don't have to go home and can come back to work in order to finish your assignment.
Okay, who drives these vans?
All of the drivers are volunteers. In a lot of the van groups, there's one person who volunteers to do all of the driving and take on other responsibilities related to the vehicle, and they often get to drive. They get to ride in the Vanpool for free. But in other Vanpool groups, the driver responsibility is shared among a group of people.
Okay, so and there are like 12 to 15 people per van. How crowded are these vans?
We have minivans that accommodate 5 or 6 people, and we have mid-size and full-size vans. The maximum number of seats on a vehicle is 15. Most of the vans generally operate with an average of about 10 riders.
People. David, let's say I want to participate in a Vanpool and Metro doesn't have anybody in my neighborhood. Do I have to recruit friends and family who live within 5 miles who want to work downtown, or does Metro have some sort of database to do this?
Well, certainly you're welcome to help recruit, but we do have a number of tools that we use to help people find partners for sharing the ride in the Vanpool. We have our online system where people can go to our website at star.ridemetro.org, and they can enter their data and search for Vanpools that way, or let us know that they're interested, or as I mentioned earlier, they can call us on the phone. We also work with a number of employers to gather information from the work sites either over the web or in face-to-face meetings. So we have a database with 20,000 or more people who are have already expressed an interest in participating in a van pool. So we'll look first in that database to see if we can find other people for you. And if we need people beyond that, then we have some tools we can use to help recruit.
David, how much does it cost to ride in a van pool?
Well, van pool costs can vary a great deal because it depends on how far the van group is going and how many people participate. But on average, people say that they end up paying about $3 to $6 a day, again, depending on that trip. But what's really important about how much it costs to the van pool is that it always compares favorably to the option of driving alone. Okay. The further you're driving, the more you're spending in terms of gas and the more you may be spending in terms of wear and tear on your car.
Now, although we have a brand new branding program here, STAR, with Consolidated Mini Van Pools, Metro's had a van pool program in place for quite a while, right? It's
my understanding that Metro's first involvement in van pooling goes all the way back to 1980 when we opened our first contraflow lane, as they were HOV lanes were called then, where we were registering the van pool so that they could participate in the contraflow lane. Over the time after that, Metro got involved in providing ride matching assistance to help people find those other riders. And then in the 90s, we actually got involved in helping to pay some of the cost of supporting the program. And then in 1996, by agreement with the Houston-Galveston Area Council and Texas Department of Transportation, we made the program regional.
Metro's van pool program is different from any other transit agencies nationwide. Tell me how it's different.
Well, van pool programs vary a lot all around the country as to how they work, but some of the key things that I think make ours unique is, first of all, that it is truly a regional program. As I mentioned, through the partnerships with TxDOT and HGAC, our van pool program reaches beyond the boundaries of any single transit agency, including Metro or any of the county transit programs that operate in and around Houston. Another thing that makes it a little bit different is that it's not just a Metro program or it's not just a private program. We've actually created a very large public-private partnership. As I mentioned, there's Metro and HGAC and TxDOT, but we also have private sector partners who do most of the program administration, that do most of the marketing, most of the sales, private sector companies who provide all of the vehicles, who provide all of the insurance. But in addition to that, some of the other things that make ours a little bit different is the fact that Metro has this extensive HOV network. So our van pool program, the people at least that are destined to work sites within the Metro service area, often get to take advantage of the HOV lanes, which really speeds their commute.
What's the best thing about our van pool program?
With our new branding process, though, we've now made it hopefully where it'll be more, create a higher level of consumer awareness so individuals who don't work in those companies can find out about it and get access to it. But some of the real key benefits from our perspective of the van pool program, from Metro's perspective, you can put a van in place anywhere there's demand. It's not like a bus route where you have to first go buy a bus and then you have to hire a driver and you have to plan a route and then you go drive it and you hope that people jump on board. With a van pool program, wherever we have 5 to 15 people who are ready to participate, we have a private van provider who will provide the vehicle and we can start the service. So it's kind of
very
on
customized,
demand, very
on
customized,
demand, and very comprehensive. Yeah.
Right, and it doesn't depend on there being hundreds of people who want to go to that work site.
Very nice. David, thank you so much for being with us.
Well, thank you, Mary.
Sounds like a great program. That's all for this edition of Metro Matters. I'm Mary Sitt. I'll see you again next time.